Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Oaklawn Camping Hour. We
Morning,
got these
boys.
Sunday edition. We got Chris Inman. Holy cow, we are graced with your presence, man.
Yeah, probably the least exciting guest of the year.
Get out of Dodge.
That's all right. That's all right. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too on here. Yeah, we had a good day yesterday. Carl Broberg was on. Marco, you hit a couple of horses in that early pick 5, and later on in the day you hit a $29 winner. But Carl hit the pick 5 several times, and he made a huge score. His 11 in the last leg hit. I forgot the name of the horse already, but go back and watch the show and you'll see that. And Marco, you did good later on with a nice runner, that firster. I think that, and you also hit a horse from a trainer we'll talk about today. He's got 3 wins in 4 starts, and I did pick one of his horses today, which we'll probably lose now because trainers aren't going to go 80%, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chris, welcome. Hey man, I need to talk to you, man. The tour.
Yeah.
You are kicking some serious ass on the NHC tour. And right now you are 3rd. I looked at some of your scores. You have a score of 1853 that you can erase with a nice score, and you can pick up 1,300 points here and make a big dent here and you know, threaten Greg Lewis up there.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the plan. I mean, I'm kind of an online, I'm from Houston, Texas. We it's hard to get to these on track contests. So, I've played in a couple, but I'm basically shooting at those $75 Friday contests as hard as I can. They got the most points, and it's going to be tough, but it's nice to be in with a shot. And I'm just hoping I can sort of stay where I'm at, or maybe get lucky and surge ahead a bit.
Now, I don't know if this is an easy question. I don't know if you have gone for the tour a lot, but did you with you winning the first chance, last chance in Vegas, did that give you a light bulb to say, "Hey, I'm going to go for this thing this year"?
No. So
Okay,
I've never really, again, I'm a school teacher for, most of you who do not know me. I don't have the funds to travel and chase these big tournaments across the country. So, when I won the first chance, the last chance, it was awesome. Nice little cash influx, but my mind was not to even look at the leaderboard. It's just not something I've ever done because I knew I'd never played enough. But in March, I played a Friday contest. I was actually at my daughter's volleyball tournament and sort of, played it kind of quick, as we've all done in the past, just sort of get on and, and I hit it. I won it. And so that gave me, another 3,300 points. That's when I started looking, and mainly I saw that the prize for winning the first half was a BCBC seat. And so that's kind of what I was focusing on, was trying to, get top 3 in the first half. And then, all of a sudden I kind of paired up some top 5, 6, 7 finishes.
Yep.
And it was like, well, damn, I better at least make a plan and see if it's possible. And so the plan has been Friday contests, and it's economical, and I don't have to travel, and that's the plan.
So do you pay? Do you buy 3 entries every Friday, and that's all you play? You don't play like the Sunday 165s or the Saturday ones, or
I'm a degenerate like all of us, so I know that it doesn't make sense unless you win like one of these 165 contests. But I'll play a feeder on those. I won't buy in for the full amount. And if I get lucky, it gives me something to do on a Sunday or a Saturday. So yeah, the discipline could be better, but most of the time I'm shooting 3 shots on Friday, and that's it.
Well, I think the top 20 or 25, I can't remember, get a check.
Yeah.
3rd place is pretty good money. Obviously the top prize, is that 100 or 150,000?
It's 75.
Oh, it's 75. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I've obviously looked at the leaderboard more times than I care to admit. And so, I know it's like 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 2nd gets about 30, 35. And third, fourth, and fifth all get 20. So that's kind of my focus right now is to stay in that top 5. Be a nice check for this 7th grade math teacher.
Well, I knew a lot of these guys, and Greg, he Thanksgiving weekend at Hawthorne, he connected, and
yeah,
Dylan finished second that day, and I see. Let's see, you're in third, of course. Karen Thornton, he's a table mate of mine from out west, and of course, one of our group text guys, Brent Schraff, is in 18th. So, yeah, it's good to see familiar faces up there, and it was cool seeing. I've been following you. I've been rooting for you. I root for a lot of the guys, and I hope you you and Greg do the thing, and whoever wins. I mean, may the best man win.
Been a fun year.
You're right there. It's very possible.
Yeah, like I said, you need one score of. I mean, obviously Greg's still playing, and so are the other guys. But
yeah,
you're right there, man. That's exciting. So, are you going to Sam Houston?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's about 12 minutes from my house, so I'll be there. Because the Inman crew will be there.
Yeah, I plan on going. I the Texas crew. I've gotten to know you guys pretty good through the years because Marco was in Dallas for several years, and the Lone Star and the Houston contests, and all you guys are great. And there's some good Texas players down there, including yourself, obviously. So it's competitive. Trey Styles, and I don't think Nick can play as much anymore, Tamaro, but as a track announcer down there. But he doesn't play as much, but he's a good handicapper. Of course, you and your dad, Steve Lerma. Of course, our guy Texas Mike. Can't forget about Texas Mike. He killed it on BCBC.
Yep, wins everything. We got a guy we sit with at the bar down there. Matt Blanchett finished third last year in the NHC, and
that's right.
Yeah, he won the Lone Star. Memorial Day contest several years ago. He's a sharpie. There's a lot of guys at that bar that we sit at that are sharp guys for sure.
Marco, let's segue into the weather before we hit the card. I am assuming it's still wet out there.
Still cloudy. I think it'll be a little wet. I don't know if it's supposed to rain today or not. Hasn't rained for a while. Last night it was stopped probably like 11 o'clock or so.
So the track might be.
It's cloudy.
Moisture.
Yeah, it's cloudy. It's not drying out at a fast rate.
Yeah, we don't know how it's going to play. So the track's going to play probably goofy from the beginning to the later of the card, and so pay attention to that. I don't know. I mean, as public handicappers for Oaklawn picking every race every day, a day in advance, we don't have the luxury to do that, but we can give out our best plays later on. All right, let's dive into the card, guys.
Let's do it.
I'll pull up race 1 real quick here. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So race 1 is a maiden claiming event for 12.5. Chris, why don't you do the honors, man?
I tried to get. I wanted to get creative here, and boy, this is a tough race. I settled on the first time or the 8. That's kind of one of my things is if I can't find something that jumps out at me, I go with the fresh face. I'm not a huge fan of the price at 7-2 for a firster, but the dam won early. Got some siblings that have won early. Witt does a pretty good job with the young horses. So I ended up on the 8. The 1 I looked at just a bit. It's hard for me to get on a Prather horse at that price. He just doesn't seem to, when he wins. I mean, he had some good wins last year at some big prices. But I may have looked at the formulator wrong, but I didn't see him with a win on a horse that was under about 12-1. So, I don't know that I could take that price. And then I had a little interest in that 4. I thought maybe the Bug Boy might just gun that horse, and these horses may just not be good enough to catch him. So that's kind of where I was at.
Yeah, this race, I have look at our picks. I mean, we're we're all over the place. So I went with a Mike Hewitt runner. He doesn't win often, but this horse is one of those, all or nothing types, I think, and it might be the fastest early. I had a trip note in its debut, fast opening quarter, speed fade, bet back. Well, it came back and against Open Company got clobbered in November there. It took, running December 8th last year and not running for the rest of the meet, something must have happened with this one. So it came off the shelf. It, didn't do too well, albeit against Open Company. I'm just hoping it, with the Lasix this time and dropping down, and it has some gate speed, I think. Against this group, maybe it can get the lead. And I like to say, puff its chest out and keep on going. I probably get an overlay. I can't believe this horse is 5-1 just looking at the past performances. Marco, where'd you land?
This race is actually an Open Company race. However,
oh, it is.
You got to treat it like an Arkansas race because there was
I didn't even notice.
There's only one horse in the whole field that's not Arkansas bred.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the 4. But I landed on the another first time starter. Simple Dreams.
Okay.
I like the connections. The siblings. He only has one unraced. Den's Legacy is only 9% first out. But this one has a pretty decent work here at Oaklawn on November 6th in the mud. So that's pretty much what I went off of. And then the last year was not too bad.
Yeah.
I had a note on that horse that Moquette won with 2 first-time starters last year. Both had Bejarano aboard. It's a bit interesting.
Yeah, so I had to demand a price here, and 15-1 is that price.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a firster against a bunch of junk for the most part. So
they're all Arky breds.
If it wakes up, I mean, it can win this. So I just went with this. Hopefully, my 6 gets out to the front and doesn't say, "Hey, maybe I should keep going," type thing. Because I think if it gets headed, it might just run back to the barn.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't know who's gonna run with it either.
I had one little formulator note on that 6 was as I was looking at his winners from last year. Every winner that Hewitt had, again, you can check my math, but every winner Hewitt had last year at Oaklawn needed a race at the meet. He didn't win with a first time at the meet the entire time. So, I don't know if maybe that race in November was the tightener. Didn't look great, but you never know. Maybe he's ready to go.
Yeah, Mike. I know him. He actually, my brother Danny, was an assistant trainer with him for a little bit, and he came out of the gate pretty cold last year, and probably March into April, maybe April, he started firing and winning some races. Yeah. But he was cold early.
He ended up, he ended the meet pretty good.
Yeah, he did end the meet good. All right, well, enough of that race. Let's go to race 2. Marco, you can start us off on this one. It's a claiming 10 grand, 6 panels. This looks like it's for 3-year-old fillies and up, or just 3 and up fillies. Yep.
I got Birdie's Cause. This is the old Brober runner, Christian Torres connections. Likes Oaklawn. 3 out of 6. 3 out of 6 at Oaklawn. Should be. I think this horse should be right there. It's 9-2 morning line. It's not like a bomb or anything, but the distance, the trip, the connections. I thought this runner was one of the stronger runners in the race all around. And nothing else actually even jumped out at me. Even my second place, my second pick, I don't even really like that much. So I would probably almost look to this one as a single in my early pick 5.
Yeah, and I wanted to do that, and I don't know why I didn't, but I opened up the card. I was going to pick the 7 on top, and I see, Chris, that you picked it too. I went to the 3, and it's just because I'm fascinated with this Gennaro Garcia guy. You picked one of his horses yesterday that won. He's won 3 out of 4 races at the meet, and the other horse ran pretty well too. I don't know. I felt like this one, the barn's on fire, so I just picked it. No other reason than that, but I agree with you. Birdie's Cause is the play. Chris, do you want to add anything on the 7?
Yeah, the 7. If you watch that last race, it didn't really get much of a comment on there. Never close is not the nicest comment. I thought he kind of broke in, and to me, they rode the horse like it was a prep. My only concern is, I think the horse gets bet. I don't know that we get 9-2 on that horse.
Yeah.
But I looked at that 3. I really wanted to play that 3, but I just couldn't. I couldn't get there with that layoff.
Yeah, I know. I'm crazy.
And I will say that if you look at that, you're looking at it right now. Go hit next race on that chart. You'll notice every horse that's come out of that last race has finished either first or second, I believe.
Are you talking about for Birdie? Yeah, I have it up now. I have it up right now.
Yeah, hit that next race, and look what they all did. No, next race.
Are you talking about?
That's the race. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, go back to it.
Wait a minute.
That Delta race. Hit next race there.
Oh, next race. I got you.
You can see every horse has come back. Run pretty strong.
All right, here we go. First. Yeah, we have 3 next out winners that are italics, and then we have a third, a second, and a second.
That's nice. Yeah, it's competitive right there.
Competitive. Like I said, I don't think we get a price that we think, but maybe single early and pray.
Yeah. I mean, it's the obvious pick.
Yeah.
At least for us 3. And I for some reason with the Garcia.
The 3 horse right there, Chris took the words right out of my mouth. I saw 2023 there, and I like the horse. I saw
this guy's he's got the magic potion, man. He's got the magic potion.
Couldn't do it.
All right. Yeah. Well, if this horse wins, I'm just gonna chuckle and I'll throw a tweet out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Danya know it. Watch that horse get bet at 4-1. I'm gonna be like, see, somebody knows something, and it wins. No. All right, let's move on to the next race. This is a 12-5 non-2 lifer for 3-year-old fillies and up. And Chris, I'll let you start off with this one.
I was fairly boring here. I kind of liked the 2 Contreras horses when I first started looking. It just seems like he gives his better horses to Esquivel. I mean, most of his good horses, most of his winners, have been with Esquivel. So I kind of lean to 6. I'm not a huge fan of playing these maiden claimers first against winners. I think it's a weak group. I think he might have a bit of a pace advantage. So the other horse that I kind of was interested in was the 4. I thought the 4 was a decent price. He needs a pace. Should be coming. You probably got some inside Hawthorne information on that horse, but I have a little interest in that one as well.
Yeah, I don't have too much information on this one. I know some of the horses that it's run against. It doesn't like to win very often, but none of these do.
Yeah.
But it ran well here last year. So if you want to put that in your hip pocket, that's something to look to. And if you can run it ran in A other than it got smoked, but it ran well in that 25. So Marco, you're on the 5 here.
Yeah, Miss Escapade. If you look at the last 2 races, it looks pretty bad. 6 and 6, 16 lengths, 13 lengths. Those are at Churchill, and I think those races are a lot tougher than some of these. A
lot of next out winners too.
Yeah, better, by our numbers, because I think that's been working for me so far. Anyways, taking some of the uglier races, but coming against stiff competition,
Mhm.
and coming and running against runners that have been running at Prairie Meadows and like Delta Downs and all that. And I could visually almost see like the difference, like and the performances. So the competition is my angle here. Other than that, going back on the maiden score, good gate speed, early runner. The connections are, the trainer is not, 4%. So that's going to be a prayer there. And then I got a bug. Maybe the weight could help. And I heard this Romero guy is not that bad. I don't know much about him. Is my thing.
He was 14% coming in. It's Oaklawn. It's hard to win at Oaklawn, but again, this is another one that it ran well when it down there at Ellis, and it did break its maiden 3 back. What a nice race! And those other 2 races were tough, like you said. So I think you're right. Every opportunity to move forward off of those efforts. I went to the 9. This one here is just nice little steady work tab. Bullet here. It's dropping down. This is a May foal. So it's a 3-year-old that's about to be 4, and I think it's just more mature now. Little time off and working well, and I like that bullet move there. So the price, whatever. I'm probably going to be 9-5, 2-1, but Cipriano Contreras will keep me honest on the tote board. So that's where I landed with the John Ortiz runner there in the 9 hole.
No, I don't mind that pick whatsoever. So,
Steve, talk to me about the 8 a little bit. Tell me
the 8. Well, it's just the connections. It's an obvious backup play. It could be your top pick. It's I struggled with these 2. I had 8/9, 9/8, 8/9. I went back to 9/8. That's where I was at in this race. I don't know. They throw the hood on there, similar thing to Marco's, where it ran in one of those Churchill races. Looks like the same race.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I don't see this one going off at 8-1 though.
No, I don't think so.
You know what I mean? I think more like 5 or a half, probably half its price.
Right.
Probably 4-1.
All right. Yeah, I could see it if I squint.
Yeah. I don't have too much to add, but other than the fact that Marco made a good point about the Churchill angle. This one broke its mate in Indiana as well, like his, and then it ran in one of those non-2 lifers over there that came up tough, and now it lands here. So, and it was before it got hurt with the double lines there back in 23, it was running the maiden specials. They thought enough of the animal and they spent $250 on it. Obviously, those days are gone.
Right.
But
it concerns me that they dropped him to 16 and nobody took a stab at it.
Nobody.
With that breeding and that price.
Well, they drop, but they did drop it all the way down to 75 off the long layoff. Nobody claimed it then.
That's true.
And then it just, okay, now we're not going to claim it for sure. It ran a little better for 5.
Yeah.
Then they finally popped the cherry, and then.
Is Winchell one of those ownership groups that's trying to win this meet? Are they dropping horses to try to get wins, or is that not?
The big outfit is Marco. The big outfit is the who's the lady with the blonde hair over there that owns the car lot?
Dorothy.
Yeah, didn't she have a ton of horses over there?
Yeah, they got the Flurry Racing Stables. Winchell is. Yeah. I'm not sure where Winchell.
Yeah, Flurry. Who was the leading owner last year? I thought they were.
That's Flurry.
Yeah, they were the leading owner last year. Yeah, right. I forgot her name, but yeah, she owns a lot of real estate. And
Dorothy. Yeah, her name is Dorothy. The lady's name is Dorothy.
Yeah, I forgot her name, but she looks rich. Put it that way. She's got diamonds and makeup and hair and all this. She's all dialed up for the track.
All right. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Sorry if I held us up.
No.
No, we're that's all right.
Matter of fact, the 6, Chris's horse is owned by Flurry.
Oh, is it?
I
Oh,
like it
there
better.
you go. I didn't even look at it. Yeah, there you go. That's the leading owner right there.
Yeah, play of the day. All right.
So there you go. All right. Race 4 is a 2-year-old restricted $100,000 maiden claiming event. So I'm assuming, let's look at the condition on this. 2-year-olds, 100,000 or which have sold for 75,000 or less at the sale. So where did I land here? This is race 4. Actually, Chris, I have the same pick as you, but this is your play of the day.
Yeah. Did you watch that replay last
Yes.
at Del Mar?
Yes, I did.
I think it's worth pulling it up if y'all do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
I will say Peter Miller's already had 2 winners, and what is he, 2 for 2? Both winners have taken a big step forward on the buyer scale coming over to Oaklawn, and so that made me interested in his 2 horses.
Yeah, we're the 2 here.
Yeah, the 2, and his other horse is the 1 that's in this race. I can't remember what number he is, but the 1 and 2 are both in this Oaklawn race.
Going up outside of those 2 to grab the lead as they race for that first turn. Toppers at Seaside.
If I remember correctly, he made a move and he lost a lot of momentum.
Yeah, so him and the 1, both the Miller horses, both made kind of the same move. And the 1, to me, got through, and the 2 definitely had to stop the momentum.
That's what I saw, too. So right now you can see him back there.
I don't think he'll be that far back today, but
no, I don't think so.
Mellencamp on the inside, and neck back in second. Rank is right there.
Because they went pretty quick in here.
Yeah.
Zabo outside of them, and Day and Age down toward
I don't think they're going to go 22 and 46 and 1 today.
So
we should be
not.
we should be at least 5-6 lengths closer, if not more. But yeah, we're making a move here. I watched this replay, and we're going to get stopped.
Yeah, 1 slips through between horses and keeps his momentum.
Yeah, and we're stopped.
Yeah, right there. Even if you watch it all the way through, at the top of the stretch, he kind of has to shuffle out. It kind of gets stopped again. Here, let's see it. Right about that, right there. He kind of takes up a bit, and he kept trying.
Yeah. No, I saw the same thing, and he's just kind of like, plodding to get into the money now and collect maybe a check for the owner here, and I think he finishes 5th.
I think so.
Boom. Yeah. So I saw the same thing you did, and I actually picked this horse on top as well. I see that it's your play of the day. For me, what I saw was the same thing. And Pete Miller, I picked a Pete Miller runner Friday that I gave it out on the Lone Speed group text. It did get pounded from 9 to 2, like 2 minutes before post, to 5 to 2. But I thought it was going to have the lead that day, and it didn't break great, but it ranged up, circled the field, and rolled. All the California horses are running really well so far at Oaklawn.
Yes, they are.
And I'd hate to get beat by the stablemate, but this is the better price, and we have a trip note to look at. And let's just get a clean trip and carve into those fractions. Looks like there's going to be plenty of speed in here, and we're going 8.5 furlongs, so mile and 16th. Plenty of time to not lose momentum, and then gather momentum and get home. And then Journalism out of that race did win a stake. Next time out, it was a grade 2 at Los Alamitos, went an 87. So good company lines in there as well. Marco,
I actually took the stablemate.
Okay.
So there's really not a whole lot to go over again, but I'm just hoping maybe we're starting off not 12 and 9 lengths out of it, more like the 2 lengths. So we're just hoping for a little better gate speed.
Yeah, I put a note on this one though. I have Hood last time bad is what I have here, and it ran in the Del Mar Futurity. It had blinkers that day. Now look, gaming was in there again and all this other stuff, but it ran against gaming in debut much better without the hood. I don't know what to make of that. I'm not going to question Pete Miller.
Well, they're throwing the hood back on today, so we'll see.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Hood
saying.
bad.
That's what I'm saying. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? But that was the note that I had, and that gave me enough with the trip note to say, hey, you know what? I wanted to pick one of the Pete's, and then when I dove into it, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go with that 4, just with the way the way that trip went, and the fact that the hood didn't do this one any favors last time. So, but again, I'm not questioning Pete Miller whatsoever. All right, pretty good stuff there. Let's move on to the next race. It is race 5. This is going to close out the pick 5, guys. This is a state bred optional claiming 40. These are going to be some really good Archie breds that we've known through the years. Marco, start us out. You have the 6, who was my backup pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a dart here with Summer Shoes. Actually, Summer Shoes is a state.
Yeah, this horse used to be great.
Or
she still is.
Yeah.
Or she.
Yeah, she's she's a stakes winner, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
4-time Oaklawn winner. 7 out of 11 in the money. 6 out of 10 at the distance. Got some good back numbers for this. Coming off a layoff, a lot of them do, but the workouts have been pretty good, especially 3 back. That was nice and quick. I don't think this horse is out of shape. I think she's actually going to be ready to run.
What do you think about the tag of 40? I mean, it's probably got a little bit of value as a brood mare, I would think. I don't know a lot about the Arkansas breeding program, but she is, like you said, black type locally, and I would think that she would be a good brood mare for some of the sires, Arkansas sires over there.
Probably not bad, but I doubt anybody claims her for 40.
I don't say that at Oaklawn. I've seen rats get claimed at Oaklawn for 10, 12, 5 all the time.
Yeah, it's a different.
The claiming box is popular at Oaklawn. You know that.
It is. Now, the Arkansas bred races, I don't think it's as much of a frenzy. So, because
all right,
a lot of people take these horses and they go everywhere and come back, and
right.
a lot of them only want them for the meet. They claim them, run them, and hope to get claimed again before they leave.
Yeah. Well, that's what that's why I segued into this one. I have another pick similar to this horse. Hey, wait for the big money. Black Apple, it's gelded, and Carl Broberg, he made a great point. I always had different angles that I thought were the biggest thing in racing. Well, he's really big on first time geldings. And yesterday, what did he say? The biggest equipment change in the sport, nuts off.
Yeah.
I started laughing.
The ultimate equipment.
Yeah, the ultimate nuts off. So, and you can see the company lines. This one's always run against salty ones, and it likes the mud. It's gelded, likes it here, and it likes the slop. And you have a really good work tab. I can't see this one not running a monster in this spot. This might be my pick of the day. I see this one just romping today. Look, 9-2. I'll have maybe my biggest bet of the weekend if I can get that price.
Yeah, I got that horse on top as well. But the caveat for me, I try not to get too in love with, slop lovers and wet track lovers. But, this one, 4 for 4 on the Oaklawn wet and 0 for 6 on the fast dirt. If this does not come up wet,
right,
I'm concerned.
Right.
If it does not come up wet, then I tend to lean to the 9. I like the 9 a little bit. Maybe be in the speed focus. And then I think the 2 might just be a little too sharp for him right now. If it comes up dry, but if it's wet, I'm kind of with you, Steve. That horse just seems to love it.
Yeah,
only, huh? Only.
I'm
wet.
assuming it's going to be wet over there. I'm not, any concerns with the cutback here?
Well,
so
I mean,
that was the one thing that I was worried about, but I just think it's so talented, and then I think Ortiz has the keys to it, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's a sharp drill 2 back. Maybe it'll be okay.
Yeah. I like it. I like this horse a lot. We'll see what happens. Maybe we get a good price considering the distance.
Yeah.
My backup who was my backup? The 6. It was Marco's pick. And then Marco, your backup, you already did you talk about the 9 a little bit?
No, but Chris touched
you already did. That's right. You did. Okay.
Yeah, it's just speed, and we'll see.
You know what? God bless Quinones. My uncle just won't bet a horse that has Quinones in the irons. I'm sure he's a nice guy.
I won a NAC seat from Quinones at Lone Star before. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was 15-1 one day, and then I had him, and not many people did. And
all right,
it was years ago, but so I'm different on him. I don't mind.
I wanted to make one more mention of the 4, which I believe I have as my backup. I think he came off a layoff last year at Oaklawn in December. Did not run well. Ran against Black Apple. And then came back and ran a pretty nice one. I think the 4 might have an opportunity to get underneath. I got a little interest in that horse.
Yeah, I agree. 20-1 is a great price. Those races at Hawthorne are pretty good. Even I don't know, that turf try was, going a little. That's a 2-turn race over there, 7.5, and I think that Battle Scars is a Chris Block runner that's really nice, and some of those other ones are pretty good too. So that was a tough spot, but the sprint races are pretty good and should be prominent and heard from. And the race 2 back and on a sloppy track wasn't bad. So 100%, yeah, that's one I would want to throw in underneath. All right, race 6 is a maiden special weight, big money, guys. This is 6 panels. I don't know. What we're going to see as far as a fantasy runner out of this. If some of these can route down the line, I'm sure something's going to stretch out of here sooner or later. But these are some talented 2-year-old fillies. And whenever you have one running in a race like this as an owner, it's like you're very excited because you could have something or you can have nothing. But Marco, start us off.
I have a very exciting pick here. Achieved 5-2. Mark Hassey's second time out. They worked for me yesterday. And this horse is probably much better. By Justify, ran the second time out, ran pretty well in the slop. I don't know if it's more likely not going to be sloppy today. It'll be more muddy. But that's fine. She can take to the wet track.
Click on that race and look at it was a strong race, very strong race. Hit next race again.
Oh shit! Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Right, and he's the only horse that hadn't run back out of that race. And I think if I'm not wrong, he was the favorite against all those solid horses. So. That's kind of where I landed also.
I mean, like a very exciting pick though, right? So
yeah, real exciting.
Well, she's
probably gonna be chalk, I would imagine.
My God, look at some of these. And this one, this is graded stakes, grade 1 placed.
Second in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile
filly. Vaca with a twist is in there. Okay, so we know that one. Yeah. This one is knocking at the door, will eventually win. Here's Stang. I don't know what happened. Pulled up, but it did win. Something's wrong with that one, but it did win its next start. And this one here did win its next start and then went sideways. But yeah, good races. And then Swiftland won a maiden race. So yeah, that's good. All all winners out of there, including a Breeders' Cup runner. You know, guys, I landed on a crazy 30-1 shot here. You know, Ron Moquette, he's a good trainer, and this horse was a total disaster in that last race. It was 17-1 in a 10-horse field, but he brings it back. He doesn't run it for a tag. And I'm like, what's going on here? Why are you running it here? Are my notes? Must be doing good. But yeah, look at the work tab. It's just working lights out. Every work since that race has been just phenomenal. You know, you have two workouts that could be bullets. You have a 2 out of 80 and another 2 out of 82. So I don't know, man. I feel like I'm treating this one as a first-time starter, so to speak. It did race, but I'm just drawing a complete line through it, and I'm trusting that this outfit is showing me a lot of confidence by running it here. And I'm just going off the work tab, and I think the combination of them having confidence in the animal and it doing so well in the morning since that race says, hey, let's pop the lid, go and crush this field and pay $40, $50.
Yeah,
So
the Vacomas have been obviously, it's no secret they've been running well.
Yep. As far as siblings go, it's the only sibling of the broodmare. So, but I've seen worse bombs. I've seen, you know, this is like this whole race is an unknown. You have a lot of talented, you know, really well-bred fillies in here. So this one has every right to move forward off of that disaster. Now that was in the mud, so I think that's going to deter people. Maybe it didn't like the mud that day, but I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope it runs well.
I wanted to just mention the two. One of my all-time favorite horses, Mia Mischief, is the dam, and obviously was a monster. One early, one on the slop at Oaklawn.
Yep.
You know, obviously he's going to take a ton of money, but I just wanted to throw that shout out on that well-bred horse.
Yeah, that's a good note there. I mean that one. Yeah, Asmussen, Curlin. This is one. You know, yeah, it could win here, no problem. And then this is one you just route right away, being by Curlin. So
Right.
This is, you know, obviously I think you're going to see a fantasy starter. I think whoever wins this race, or maybe even the top two, you might see those in the fantasy later on this year, or at least in, you know, the 2-year-old or 3-year-old stake for fillies. All right.
Did either one of y'all have any interest in the 9 down there? Oh, Steve-O.
Oh, I had that. That's my backup there. Yeah, I do have interest in that one. You know, I don't know a lot about the Big Beast. I do remember vaguely about that horse. I just thought this one is a wire threat.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, yeah, it does have 2 races, and they're even adding the hood, and it's fast anyway on time form. I think if this one was drawn a little bit more inside where I could hug that rail quicker, I might even pick it, but I'm worried about it having to clear out there. But it is super fast, and it probably will clear.
You know, that one's quick as well.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah,
rail.
it is. Oh yeah, look at that time form, 127.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things I saw too. Like, you'll probably have to be off that hip of that one. But yeah, 100%. I did like the 9 a little bit, enough to put it on second, and it has a little bit of a foundation.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
That's all I got.
Race 7. What is this? This is let's look at the condition. This is one of those, all right, 20,000 starter. This is just a straight 20,000 starter. Okay.
Just another easy race at Oaklawn.
Yeah, for a $45,000 pot. All right.
Are we all over the place on this one?
No, actually we're not. Me and Chris both land on the 8. I can talk about the 8 to start off.
Go ahead.
It's trumped. So Harry Hernandez, I love how he's riding at the meet so far. And I love that he picks up the mount. Ran on a track off of a layoff last time. That's probably going to play like the track today. It's probably going to dry out to good. And that was a really good effort right off the bench. I think it has every right to move forward off of that effort and run its best race of its career. It's run fast in the past, and I think it can at least match those numbers. And it looks like whatever was going on with it since April, I think they got everything obviously cleared up. The trainer with this layoff move is 31% two off. So that's a good angle. And I love the jock that we picked up. We're going to be prominent early, and I'm excited about this one on a less than fast track.
Yeah, I'll just jump in on that horse as well. Fincher's just had a great couple of years, been really kind of coming up and spotting this horse as well. And I don't know how many Zia Park Shipper winners win at Oaklawn, but
yeah,
I'm with you. Everything you said. Hope I can't imagine we get 8-1, but maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, 8-1 would be. Well, I mean, the field is pretty contentious. I mean, there's a lot of different horse. I mean, I thought about a few other ones. What was my backup? My backup was the 2. This is one that ran well here for Becker, and those 2. You can see him right on the PPs. The last 2 times it ran on and off track, it just missed.
Yeah.
With really, its best numbers ever. It's got 4 wins. It likes to run second a lot. It's got 9 seconds, but it might move up a little bit on the slop, even though it ran second in both those races.
So I saw the same thing, but then I saw the 2 other good races right around it on the fast. So yeah. I'm inclined to think that horse was just sharp at that point, and now we're third off a layoff.
FanDuel. Yeah.
If he circles back to those 83, 84 buyers, he's certainly absolutely fits.
Yeah. That was. I was like, man, it hasn't won, since November of 23, and I'm like, I'm gonna go trumped on the outside. Marco, you have the 4, who is Lunar Module.
Yeah, I didn't like this race much at all.
Why not?
It's just, I don't know. There's a lot of.
I like the race. I think it's a cool race.
It is.
I think you don't like it because you're having a hard time picking a winner in here.
Yeah, because I don't know what's going to happen. Well, when I was looking through here, I was like, okay, you got the Hawthorne horses coming back to Oaklawn. You got Prairie Meadows. And then, you got Canterbury. But the California horse and the Kentucky one coming from there kind of intrigued me a little. Yeah. Now, the 4 doesn't really like to win a whole lot. 3 wins and 18 starts, but comes into money 5 seconds. Got a little Texas rain on her. But did run some tough allowance races in Churchill and Keeneland last year. Coming second at 2 of those. So I'm taking a stab here with Blair Jordan, pretty much. And the California horse that I'm on for my backup, maybe some speed, but it's over 3 in the wet, so I couldn't put him on top.
Yeah, I looked at that one and I saw the same thing you did. I'm like, man, these California shippers, and then I'm like, 0 for 3 on wet and not very good races. So
have they even seen rain before? Sometimes I don't even.
You got Christian Torres though, and it's like, man. And the thing was, doing really well leading up to that last race. It got a little tired there, but they're taking a hood off. Trainer's good with these 2 off the layoff angles. Not a big sample size, but yeah, the price is the one that moved me away from it.
Yeah, the over 3 and then only 3 to 1.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you got, Chris?
I got one note on a bomber, and it's probably my NYRA bias, but I look at the 7.
Finger Lakes.
Interesting, New York bred, Finger Lakes, Saratoga. But if you look, they shipped him over. They shipped him over to Churchill Downs and won a
And it
race,
won.
2 back,
Yeah.
and it won. Of course, he was 2-1 that day in a 6-horse field, but just kind of an interesting, throw in type if you're, going wide on a ticket.
Throw it underneath your verts. Why not?
Crazy idea. Yep.
Yeah, I mean
that's it.
These are the type of horses that you get underneath, in the 3rd slot, 4th slot, try and super and make a ton of money.
Yeah, these are the type of horses that pay you.
All right, good stuff there in that race. Let's go to this is the feature of the day. This is one of the rare times at Oaklawn you don't have a stake. There's usually a stake race every day at Oaklawn. This will be the feature race of the day. It's a non-winners of one allowance for fillies, 3-year-olds and up. And let me see where we landed here. Right. Well, I think this is one we all had different horses. Of course, you and Marco, Chris alternated the 8, and me and Marco alternated the 11. So, Marco, you want to start off with the 8?
I like
Tell us
this.
about it.
Yeah, I remember her from last year.
Yeah, of course. And Just My Heels. Yep.
Came in, broke her maiden, tried a couple of graded stakes here, the local ones. The Fantasy, the Honeybee didn't fare really well. Lost to Torpedo Anna. I mean, fine. Came back, ran pretty well.
You said fine.
I mean,
like everyone else.
That's the greatest mare in the last decade.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? I mean, no one's gonna beat her anyway.
Right.
A forever, right? Came back and showed some speed in the optional claimer 100, and then the meet ended, and unfortunately she had to go to Prairie Meadows, and then tried to stake there. Didn't do well off the layoff. And then she won 2 in a row. Now she's back here. I like the running style. She should be right there up front. No, nothing hitting her in the face. 3-1. Just stalking pounce.
I gotcha. Well, I do like this. The company, like you said, was kept well. Prairie Meadows is a goofy place. You either love it or hate it there.
I hate Prairie Meadows. I think it's
and the Indiana. She obviously loved that strip, and yeah, she's doing good. And she's eligible for this. I guess she is. Yeah, she's eligible for this race. I didn't even think of that. So
I had her second. I kind of had her on top at first, and a couple of things I just didn't like was, you're coming out of a win against 5, a win against 3. I will say that race in the Iowa Oaks that ran into that Just Basking, which was just in raging form at the time. I'll give her a pass on that one. It's a definite interesting horse, but I just again 2 blowout wins against 3-horse field and a 5-horse field in Indiana and Prairie Meadows. I just think the horses, those 2 1s, it's going to get bet down. I was also trying to beat Lemon Muffin. I think Lemon Muffin, could just outclass his field certainly, but I couldn't put it in my stuff. So I just landed on a crazy long shot on the 1. Luckily those do come in at Oaklawn more often than not. I got a bit of a man crush on Contreras just in general. I think he does a great job. He's obviously started off hot. I mean, at this same level last year, I mean, he was getting bet. I mean, he was 9-1, 2-1, 5-1. I'm hoping that last race was just kind of a get his feet underneath him, and now we're gonna hopefully show some speed and just try to ride that rail, and maybe the rest of them just aren't quite good enough to catch. But this race to me was like reading hieroglyphics. Other than trying to beat Lemon Muffin, who probably wins by 6 now, I just didn't have a lot of opinions.
Yeah, I listen. This one here, the fact that he is part owner of the animal. The fact that he lands here, this is one of those trainers that he likes to win races. This filly has won 25% of her starts. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to be embarrassed by running in this spot and running dead last. So the filly must be doing good to land here. He spots his horses really well. He's a good horseman, and if he's here in this spot, I would look to some of that form from last fall at Keeneland and that race at Saratoga, as opposed to what you have been seeing lately.
Right.
So I'm with you on that. I think being in the one post, bust out of there pretty good, get nice position, and who knows, maybe can take us longer than we all think. I went to the outside to the 11. How do you say this? Devoleta. Anyway, Asmussen. Yeah, look, when I see CT Charlestown, I just put a line right through it. There's you get enticed by the big money. I don't even know. Without even looking at that race, I'm sure the purse was crazy. It's one of those big days they have out there. And that's a bull ring, as everybody knows, and you got to be a different kind of horse to like that track. And she obviously hated it. This one was well meant all along. Broke its maiden on an off track at Sam Houston. Stakes placed already at Sunland Park. The Lone Star race was really nice and didn't embarrass itself in a similar race we were talking about with Marco's pick at Prairie Meadows. So draw a line through the last. It's had some time to grow up. So that race was in the summer in August. Asmussen's really good with 3-year-olds. I think this one is, going to do really well. You got weight off with the bug. Time off did some good, more mature. And like I said, that debut, won on the less than fast track anyway. So I like these gun runners out of a Tappet. This is one that might be in the older stakes ranks if it could fire today, and I think it's going to run a big race at 12-1. I don't know if we get 12-1, but we'll see.
Probably not, but has every right to improve, and definitely should be tough. I just noticed looking that, I mentioned Esquivel on the Contreras horses earlier, and I noticed my one, loses him. I mean, I guess 30-1, maybe he's gonna. But Matt Shirer has been pretty hot of late, if my mind is right, and he gets Esquivel on the 12 out there, might be interesting as well.
For sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yep, that's an interesting move. And also Contreras, albeit it was from August, he's not riding my horse. He's on the 6 Contour for Abel Rodriguez. So yeah, that's interesting too. I wonder if I can call Carl and get some inside information on that horse.
You probably can.
Yep. All right, so we'll see. This is going to be exciting. We got a couple of a big bomb on the one. My horse is a good price, and Marco, you went with the short price, but
yeah, you're most likely winner.
Yeah,
but you're in good form. So, but I think you're going to get every bit of that 3-1. I think you'll be square right there.
If Tappet Janely would have won yesterday, I'd be feeling a little bit better about the pick.
Oh, by the way, that pick yesterday, Tappet Janely, what the hell? Why were we so far out of it? I was upset about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was the weather.
Well, I don't know. Anyway, I'm interested to see that one back. I didn't like the way it was plodding in the back there. All right, the nightcap, the last race. Now, when does the pick? Are they starting the pick 5 and race 4 today, Marco? Let me look real quick. Because usually we have 10 races. Pick 3. Oh, I don't even know. Oh no, wait, race 5. Excuse me. Instead of race 6, race 5 is the. Yeah, so you're gonna close out the pick 5, the early pick 5, and you're gonna start the new one with race 5. So.
Yeah,
it's right there in the middle,
but it's what it is.
Yeah. Okay. So race 5 is going to be an important race. All right, the nightcap. It's a state bred A other than. These are Archie breds running for some big money. Who wants to go first? Here's our picks. We all like the 4 a little bit. I got it on top. You guys got it second. I guess I could talk about the 4 a little bit to start off. No coincidences. So this is, I think that my notes, I think the 1 and the 2 are the only ones with recency. Let me look. Yeah, the 1 and the 2 have recency, and the rest of them all are coming off that Oaklawn layoff for the big money. Yeah. Okay. So this one here, that's what they did. Ron Moquette parked this one. He's like, you know what? Why should I put wear and tear on this filly when I can run for $30,000? So that's what they did, and the thing's working lights out, big money. I have saved for this 2 bullet moves in the mud, and I'd be surprised if this one did not win the race. You guys like it as well, but I think it looks like you guys are looking for a bigger price. Chris, you want to start us off with the 1 horse here?
Yeah, as my buddy who sits at the bar with us, he's Oaklawn. He puts his own little tip sheet out to the boys every morning.
Oh, nice.
I hadn't got it yet, but he loves Oaklawn, and I feel like every Arkansas bred race he writes the 3 letters ALL. All he's he's at a lot of big scores just playing all in these Archie bred races. So it just sort of is always ingrained in me to try to find somebody different than the favorite in these races. And I just, similar to the last race, I just think that the 1 horse, like you said, had a little recency. I kind of watched that last race, and he looked a little uncomfortable between horses. I kind of think he's going to come out running with Juarez and Calhoun's first starter of the meet for Calhoun. And I'm hoping he, just kind of scampers away and is too much to catch. That's my only angle there.
Yeah, you watch the replay. It says here divided between. So yeah, you probably got sandwiched early and 46 flat there. 2 back, really nice race. So why not? Yeah, I'm with you. And this is a state bred race, not an open company like you had to run against last time. So 12-1. That, like you said, that's a generous price on a horse who's very live, in my opinion, with good connections.
Yep.
Marco, you've got the 3 horse Lassie, My Girl, who looks pretty decent in here coming in from Evangeline, ran here last year.
Ran here last year. I've actually used her last year once or twice. The last couple of races, she really seemed like she stepped it up a little bit as she's aging into a racehorse. 5-6 years old, you're starting to become like more of a professional. You're going to see where your career is going to go. Either she's going to go to the breeding shed or the walking trail horse, or she's going to keep running. Last couple of races, kind of like, I think she improved a little bit. And I wanted to take a horse that's not going to try to gun for the lead, but also is not going to be way back. And one that could probably have a little, kick down the lane. And just with her running style, she fit what I was looking for.
Yeah, cutting back, I think you're definitely going to you're going to have some targets, I think.
There's a couple in here, and I think maybe the 4 looks pretty quick.
The four is definitely.
There's a couple other ones in here that may want to try to steal the race, but most of the runners in here, they don't run very late, strong late runners without being too far back. So I think this one might have enough energy left in the tank to get down that stretch.
That's a good point. A lot of the time form late figs on these are subpar. They're not very good. So there's not a lot of late kick. Although the 6 has a good late move, it looks like, and that one's cutting back as well.
Looks like he needs a total meltdown, though, to me.
Yeah.
That's, I can't take one from way, way back there like that. Not now. I
Yeah,
guess Oakland's run first.
no, I like what you're saying. You're going to be in that, probably second flight or maybe third flight, but you're not going to be too far, more than 4 lengths out of it. Probably, I get it.
Yeah, those runners aren't doing well right now. The deep closers.
Yeah,
I mean, once in a while they will, but
yeah, Oakland's notorious for having those Zenyatta type moves win. It's been a weird meet. Opening day was kind of like all speed. Then the second day on Saturday last week, it was playing fair, and then then once you throw in mud and fast mixed in, we're just collecting our bearings here, seeing how things play out.
yeah, it's going to change week to week until you get a couple. After about a good solid month of running, you'll see how this track's going to be playing for the rest of the year for the most part.
Great job, guys, and good work. Thanks, Henry. Appreciate it. Marco, go ahead.
More thing. I got one more little horse that caught my eye on the last race. The 9 horse.
I'll pull it up.
I don't know. I don't know. You can pronounce it. But last year December, beat No Coincidences in that maiden special weight, and then big layoff, bothered break, tried him in a stakes race.
That's another nice race.
Layoff. Yeah, another layoff. Lone Star. I don't know. Big layoff. I mean, I don't know. I wish the works. I mean, the works are fine. They're nothing special, but I just got a feeling. I'm like with you. I like. My dad calls him the Hat, Harry the Hat Hernandez. I don't know where that came from.
I like Harry Hernandez. He's a good rider.
I love him. I think I don't know much, if anything, about this trainer. But that horse, to me, is a bit interesting.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. It does look interesting at 15:01. You kidding me? And then having Harry in there is great. Hey, remember the Lone Star contest? We got in a win photo with Lady J, and Harry was aboard.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
He was the jockey.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was cool. Unfortunately, she was even money that day, and I had my whole bankroll on her, and I couldn't parlay that into better things. But yeah, that was a cool day. But yeah, this is an interesting runner too. So definitely one I'm going to throw underneath if I do play the trifecta. I probably will. And I don't know what I'm going to do on my horizontals, if I single my pick or if I want to get more creative. Maybe I single one on one horizontal wager, but on another I go a little bit deeper on, like, a pick 4 or pick 3. I might single, and then on a pick 5 go a little deeper. Who knows? Marco, you get we know Chris's pick of the day. What is your pick of the day?
Pick of the day, huh?
Yeah, do you have one? I'm going to give my pick of the day out on the group text, the Lone Speed group text later today. If anybody wants to join in on that, you can get a hold of Justin Dew on Twitter.
I really don't have a pick of the day, but I mean,
okay,
to not do something like a bomber to pray, but I really like the that 4-horse Achieve in race 6.
Achieve in race 6.
Just looks like one of the stronger runners from out of the whole card. Okay. I mean, 5-2 morning line, but I think it's a safe bet for some people who don't want to risk a whole lot, and so.
All right, good deal. Yeah, I like Chris's pick too, on top at least, and it's his pick of the day. So pay attention to that. Remember, on the horizontals today with the pick 5, it starts with the late pick 5 starts in race 5 today because we only have 9 races. According to Marco, the track is probably still going to have a lot of moisture in it. It's cloudy. There's no rain in the forecast, we don't think, but it's probably going to be at least a muddy or good track today.
Yeah,
all right, guys. Anything else to add? You playing any tournaments today? Any feeders?
Yeah, I'm hoping I'll see both of you guys in the Sam Houston qualifier.
Sam Houston.
Marco, you going to come down?
Yeah, I'm coming down. It's been a rough year for me, but I'm starting to get my bearings back.
Yeah, I think there's a feeder this morning, obviously a last chance or whatever they call it. And then they got the I think it's 108. I'm just doing a Texas Mike's job here, just trying to get those feeders filled, those qualifiers. So I'll be in the late one. I think it's live today too. So
Yeah, it's live. I'm gonna get in there too. The Bears don't play. Well, I don't care about the Bears anymore.
Yeah,
Anyway,
come on
they're
now.
Monday
come
Night
on,
Football.
come on now.
Come
Oh, this
on.
is wait. Time out. We always end our show with all our guests. The college football playoffs. I want your input on who do you think is going to win the whole thing, or do you have any upsets in round one?
I think Clemson wins the first round personally.
Beating Texas? What if Arch Manning comes in there?
Look, hold on. If you can make it out, that's an A&M. So it might be a little bit of a heart, but
You don't like the
like
Longhorns.
I feel like Texas has beaten absolutely nobody. I think Clemson is going to be hungry. I'm going to play them with the points for sure, but
Right.
I think they got a little bit of a shot, and I think Ohio State is the absolute value of the year right now, getting in at 5-6 to 1 to win the whole thing. They're still the best roster in the country. And 5-6. I mean, they were plus 190 3 weeks ago, and now they're plus 550.
Yeah, the Michigan game changed all that. People forget that's a rivalry game, and Michigan is the defending champion, even though their whole roster got turned over.
Well,
so there was a lot of pride in that. There's a lot of pride in that matchup every time, and then to lose that, I think the game. Ryan Day, he's on the hot seat. So if he loses against Tennessee, look out, he might be fired the following Monday.
Could be interesting.
What are your thoughts on SMU getting in? Should have Alabama gotten that spot, or are you saying, hey, SMU? I kind of feel like SMU making that big comeback and going to the championship game and playing in it. The fact that they lost the game, they shouldn't be demoted. So I'm glad they made it.
I'm glad they made it. I think you lose to Vandy in Oklahoma, you got no arguments.
And Oklahoma killed them.
Killed them. If they lose 24-23, they probably get in. They got boat raced by a bad OU team.
Yeah,
they have no complaints. SMU, they'd be the favorite over SMU. To me, you still got to win your games. That's just a lot of people argue against that, but I think SMU deserved it. A 3-point loss to BYU to start the season, a 3-point loss to Clemson to end the season. I think they deserve it. Maybe they get crushed, but I think they deserve a shot. I got one more thing. Are y'all Cubs fans?
Yes, I am. Marco, more of a Sox fan.
Oh, tell me about these.
But
guys
I'm a Cub fan.
We just, y'all got Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, is he from Atlanta?
I don't know where he's from, but
we're
heartbroken. Tell me about the guys we got.
Well, listen, I'm excited about it. We got some bats. We got some home power. We needed some power. Morel, we traded him last year. He was kind of, tiptoeing through the tulips and not trying and striking out a lot. He couldn't hit a breaking ball with a canoe paddle, so we got rid of him. But no, we added power with the two additions. I think Soto and Davis or Tucker. We need bullpen help, though.
Tell me about Wesneski. How's this Hayden or Hunter or whatever his name is that we got for that trade?
No, he's a pitcher, right? He's a good pitcher. Listen. We need to button down. We need a closer. We need some more relief help. Last year, we had a really hot April into May. We were hitting everything in sight, and then the bats got cold. And then when we were in those tight matchups, those tight games, our bullpen gave up just every day 2-3 runs. Our setup guy was getting rocked. We couldn't close a game out. Our bullpen cost us the playoffs last year. We were a winning team that probably blew about 10-12 games in the 8th and 9th inning last year. So that's where we need some help, and hopefully we keep building that up. But I like our starting five.
Yeah.
I don't dislike the Cubs, but
Shoto had a great year. I think. I mean, he's only going to build off that, and we got a good starting five. So we'll see what happens.
Over under 100 losses, Marco, next year. What do you think?
Oh my God, the White Sox! Jesus, they lost 120.
Something like that.
Look. This is historically, I think, the worst season of any baseball team ever. You cannot get any worse than this. But we are rebuilding.
Jerry Reinsdorf, who owns the Cub or the White Sox and
Bulls.
the Bulls, he needs to.
Sucks.
He's a terrible owner.
Yeah, he just needs to. He needs to go somewhere. I don't even want to say it, online.
Hell.
Okay. Jesus.
Yeah, he's a piece of trash.
Hey, I thought they should have kept the old Comiskey Park instead of building the new one and renaming it 5 times, but that's just me.
Yeah, no, it's still Comiskey. Ask any Sox fan.
That's right. All right,
Hey,
boys.
all right, Chris, I'll look for you on the leaderboard in the contest later today for Sam Houston.
Yep.
And I wish they had Oaklawn. I wish we could put Oaklawn on there. I wish Oaklawn had a tournament.
I mean, what is that? Is that what is that?
The management at Oaklawn is piss poor. They don't know what they're doing over here.
I talked to Mulligan. I think I saw him at the Eclipse in the infield when the big eclipse was going on at Oaklawn last year.
Right.
He said they're going to bring some tournaments back. And actually, I talked to I thought Frank Mustari mentioned that as well. So.
And the ownership just shut them out of horse.
Well, I don't know.
Horse players. I mean,
they acted like they were going to get some contests again, NHC contests again. But the fact that I can't play Oaklawn on like horse tourneys for whatever contract dispute there is, it's just disheartening. It sucks.
Yeah.
I don't understand all that. Why you can't anyway? I mean, this is America. I don't even understand half the shit that goes on anymore. If I want to do something, I can do it. I mean. Pound sand. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, Mark. I mean, it's a contract dispute. I get it.
Maybe
you can make a phone call and figure that out.
So you're telling me like they're going? We can't.
Yeah, I'd like to tell people the pound sand too.
Well, we can't set up our own tournaments. Like people can't just set up their own tournaments, and that's what I don't understand.
Well, you got to do something with it. You got to set it up through the NTRA, and there's money involved, and I really don't know. NTRA. There's a rhyme or reason behind all that.
Well, why do they get to do it? And how come certain people get to open up casinos? See what I'm saying? Like it's if you got it's America. It's the way.
Yeah, well, Hawthorne is another thing we'll talk about a different day. But all right, guys, listen. Great show, Chris. I'll look for you on the leaderboard on the contest. I'll be playing Oaklawn in between. Marco, I don't know what you're doing today, but nothing.
I don't know yet. We got church going on, and we're gonna bring all the kids down there, and they're gonna run around while we watch football and horses.
All right, good deal. All right, guys.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Chris. We'll see you next time. Let's cash some tickets later on, everybody.
See you guys.
All righty. Later.